Hi everyone, and welcome to this introduction to computer programming we're using Scratch. This is the Scratch interface. As you can see, I've signed in already, and if I click on the arrow and choose My Stuff, I can see all of the projects that I've been working on. Recently I've been messing around with a Flappy Bird game, and today we're going to look at how to develop Flappy Bird. So let's go to my Flappy version 3. We're going to see inside. And this is what we've got at the moment. We've got a cat sprite here, which I've unchecked the show option. Or I could, of course, right-click and delete the character. It's up to you. I don't want to see this character in the game. I've created my own wall sprite, and if I go to the costumes, this is simply what I drew using Scratch's drawing editor. I also have another sprite called Sprite 2. Let's just rename that. This is called, I'm just going to call it Black Line. And we'll look at the purpose of that black line later as we develop this game. And of course, my third sprite is Flappy. So I'm just going to call this Flappy. Brilliant. So those are my three sprites that I need in my game at the moment. I might develop more later. Alright, so let's think about what the Flappy Bird is doing. We need to think about the logic of Flappy Bird. So here we've got some game logic. If the mouse is pressed, the Flappy Bird will move up. Else, the Flappy Bird will move down. Okay? So if this is true, do this. Otherwise, if it's not true, do something else. So if the mouse is pressed, the Flappy Bird will move up. Else, the Flappy Bird will move down. And we need to understand a little bit about stage coordinates in Scratch to figure out how to do this. Of course, the stage, if this is the stage, here we have the y-axis, which goes up and down, and the x-axis, which goes from left to right. Now let me tell you that the coordinate of the center of the stage is 0, 0. The x-coordinate value is 0 at the center, and the y-coordinate value is 0 at the center. As we go up the stage, the y value is increasing. And as we go down the stage, the y value is decreasing. As we go to the right, the x value is increasing. And as we go to the left, the x value is decreasing. So those are some things that you need to know about Scratch coordinates. What we've just looked at is if the mouse is pressed, the Flappy Bird will move up. So we're focusing on the y-axis here. And if I press the mouse during the game time, then the Flappy Bird is going to move up. And if I'm not pressing the mouse, it will move down. Okay? So have a think about that game logic. We'll go back to Scratch and we'll start to program Flappy Bird. Let's just control everything with a green flag click, and I'm going to include a forever loop. And what I'm going to say is, well, there's an if-else block, so let's take that because that's useful. Okay? So if, now then, let's just see if we can find all the necessary bits. It's not control, is it sensing? Yeah, we're sensing the mouse, right? If the mouse is pressed, this is otherwise known as mouse down. If the mouse is pressed, we're going to change the value of the y-axis, of the y-coordinate of the Flappy Bird. Okay? We're going to change the value of the y-coordinate of the Flappy Bird. If the mouse is pressed, the y value is going to get bigger. So we're going to change y, let's do by 10. Else, if the mouse is not pressed, we will change y by a negative value. So let's do -10. And let's just put that into our forever loop and test the game. So now I'm pressing the mouse and it goes up, and let go of the mouse, it goes down. Up, the y value is changing every time I press the mouse. It's a little bit fast, so I'm just going to play with these values. Let's change that to 5. And if I let go of the mouse, it drops slowly. Let's do -3. Let's test that. That's a little bit there. It just drops a little bit slower. Okay? So this is the start of our Flappy Bird game. Get into Scratch and see if you can create this scenario where our Flappy Bird is being controlled when we click the mouse.